Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Talking Simulator.
We are going to simulate talking.
Talk. This is my talking voice.
Hey you, John Madden.
Ow.
This is a weird idea.
Okay, hi everybody. That I know Talking Simulator doesn't actually have a proper intro yet. That's I'm auditioning for that for the introduction.
It's good. No, you knocked it out of the park. So
Yeah.
we have half as many Camerons.
Yeah, half as many
I
cameras.
don't think my math is very sound on that, but we have half as many cameras, but twice as many beards.
It's true.
So
It's true. Cameron has many wonderful qualities, but
being here, I thought you were gonna say being here was not one of them.
No, beardsliness is not one of them. Also, being here is not one of them.
I'm going to mute the sub notifier because the thing we do on this show is we thank subs at the end because we like to maintain.
So you don't want to lose the train of thought.
We tried it before, and I just kept like screwing myself over and just being like, "Thank you for so and so." What the fuck was I talking?
Yeah,
about? I don't remember.
Okay. So yeah, we'll be taking people at the end. But today
we have.
We're gonna play some Oni. If you're like me and you've played a fair amount of Oni before, that this title music is super nostalgia-rific.
I've never played this game. Although I have this faint memory of like a friend of mine telling me that like it was better than anime. And I was like,
better than like anime as a whole.
Yeah, it was the 90s. It was fucking weird. But yeah, like I don't have a lot of context for this game, so it'll be interesting to see what we can observe about it. It definitely, just on a cursory examination, like even the intro screen alone, it really does look like a product of like that weird 90s era where North American studios and so forth were finally realizing it's like, hey, you know what's really hot right now? Anime.
Yeah.
We could do that. We just gotta make some like hot chick with weird colored hair and like big guns and it'll be perfect.
Actual guns.
Yeah,
in this case.
Guns. There was a lot of comics and so forth that came out of that era.
I like your pause on comics.
Yeah.
So, as may be obvious from the smallness of this title screen, this is an older game. So this is a Bungie game though. So this was made, I think this was pre-Halo.
Wow. Pre-Halo is not something you throw around easy. Like,
yeah.
Pre-Halo...
Bungie, made lots of cool games.
Well, they did. Well, this brackets it between, Marathon and Halo. So...
And, yeah, for as mentioning the art style, I believe...
Oh, God, somebody brought up Gold Digger. Oh, the tits! They're so big! Why? Why are they so big?
I believe the art for this was actually done by the guy who did Bubblegum Crisis.
Are you sure about that? Because it really doesn't look like his style.
You'll see some of the other stuff.
Okay, well,
I don't know if it's this intro page, but some of the
I'll have a look because that would be. Fuck! I should know his name.
All right. Let's turn this up a little bit, and let's do this. So I have obviously I played this before. I played this actually even on stream. So
I'm glad you're here to.
We might end up jumping around a little bit in the game, so I can show you some of the neat stuff.
Is it Kenichi Sonata? Yeah, I think that's the one.
So, and also I loaded up a little cheat thing so we have all the checkpoints, so we don't have to worry about playing it properly. So let me just make sure difficulty's on easy.
Grawr! I read most of Ghost in the Shell, and now we're making a fucking video game. And it'll be better than Ghost in the Shell. Like, I suspect I'll be giving this game, like, a gentle ribbing, but, you know, it'll be interesting.
It definitely deserves a bit of a ribbon.
Yeah.
Alright, so this is the first actual level in the game.
Alright. Does it get any bigger?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is just the drawings.
Thank fuck for that. I was like,
Give me another reading.
All systems nominal. She's doing fine.
This is a mistake.
You aren't really in a position to criticize.
The Syndicate is using the warehouse to shuttle contraband. Chung went underground to gather evidence. He failed to report in this morning. Find him and get me what I need to shut the place down.
Tough boss.
Or shut it down yourself.
rawr.
I'm on it.
Update.
Diode latency holding at 27.1. Bioplasmic waveform stable. A class 3 adrenal
Little
spike when you gave the
cyborg
order.
person that
Nothing out
for
of
some
the
reason
ordinary.
looks like
What
a
are
little
you
girl.
sending her into?
in a
It's a
sailor
simple
suit.
bust, in and out. She needs a trial run.
Oh, you're a cyborg.
Good luck, Kanoko.
This is like,
Your father type figure who's
I
a
gotta
scientist who is working with you.
yeah, this is like aped from Ghost in the Shell even harder than I was
Listen,
expecting.
Kanoko. You
So you're
won't
not
need
actually
any
you're not a
basic
cyborg, but
training.
You're a
effectively.
Now that you're in the field, we better review your health display meter.
Don't want to forget about that.
yeah.
Health meter training. But first, laser gun.
It's just a gun with
Yeah.
a laser sight.
So you're not a cyborg,
it's
you're
third
just-
person. No, it's kind of an interesting thing. You've got like this weird thing implanted on you that makes you fancy.
All right.
So the cool thing, so what I always thought was exciting about and interesting about this game is it has all these sort of actual, almost like fighting game elements to it, where you're sort of where it's.
Oh, incoming.
So this guy's
Don't make
here's
me
some-
hurt you.
Whoa,
here's some
okay.
guy.
Look at this.
I can
ass.
block him
Uh-huh.
if you're looking at him, you block him, and then I
Blocks
can punch and I can throw him. So he just died there.
Okay, so they took like a sort of 3D or the third person, and
Yeah.
they added.
So the idea of like
Also, hang on a sec. A couple people are saying the bees. What bees? We don't hear anything on our end. Does anybody else? Audio's doing the bee crackle thing occasionally. Huh. That's also weird. If it's only from Paul, that's really weird because we're speaking to the same microphone.
it's true.
Audio flaps, microphone. bees.
Microphone crackles. I hear audio bees. It's only a bit. Wait, there it is. I hear some crackle only on the mic line.
Shall we check those connections?
I guess we wouldn't hear it.
Huh.
Clicking in the headphones. It's not only from Paul.
Yeah, like I'm not hearing any of it. But-
Yeah, I
oh,
mean, so that must mean it's in the. Here. I think it's good now.
Is it? Maybe.
I don't know.
Well, we'll see. Seems to be fine. Whatever we did work. We shot the bees. Okay. Okay.
You better not crackle again, or there'll be trouble.
Right.
Uh,
So you're saying.
So it's got this sort of like, it's this sort of platformy third person thing, but with a much more complex fighting or close combat fighting system than I have, and like the way the people interact together, they sort of. This was before like Arkham Asylum and those kind of games that started doing like the countering system where it was
Yeah,
like
those came
guys
sort of
get little
later.
things on their heads and then you can counter and do a thing. Whereas this way it's very like it's you are in complete control. It's not like, oh, I look so cool even though I'm just pushing this one button over and over again.
There's something in frame to his right. Yeah, that's me. No, there's a band over that way. Over there, you can't quite see it if it's light in the background.
Oh, is it the
Yeah, there you go. We got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
This,
Incoming compass data.
Oh boy.
she's just like, okay.
Yeah, so like, as someone who is a long time,
So that's the other thing is that you like call out your moves like a.
like a fucking fighting game.
Yeah. So
Jesus Christ.
you've got that move.
Grawr!
You've got like a move like that, and other guys call out their moves at you too sometimes.
Yep. I wonder where that started. But yeah, sorry, I was just gonna say, like, as someone who is a long time fan of Ghost in the Shell, like, it's kind of wearing its influences on its sleeve, like the.
And I think I would imagine
Which is
that
like-
there's absolutely no, I would guess the developers probably would
Yeah.
be like, yes, definitely.
I mean, this really does look like a product of the time. It's just like, when all this stuff came out, and they're just like, let's throw all that together. It's like, we got it. We understand this Aomine stuff. We can do this. And there was a lot of properties throughout, like, that period, and still today, where people come, like, I want to say like 75% of the way to kind of like grokking it, but a lot of times there's like an important amount missing. I don't quite get it. Although actually it's interesting, stuff like this, because you see the sort of distillation of what anime fans think the best parts of anime are, and when that's just like extracted and refined, it's a little weird sometimes.
Yeah, I feel like they were, not necessarily trying to be, it's like, this is anime, but more like...
This is our favorite parts of anime.
Yeah, and probably, I mean, I would guess it would be like, we love Ghost in the Shell and Akira and all those kind of movies.
Because who doesn't?
We want to make, at the time, it was like, let's make something that has that kind of cinematic quality to it.
But also like incorporating some of the stuff that is sort of inherent in, our pop culture and our like sci-fi, North America.
Kanoko, there's something I have to tell you about hyposprays. I'm not supposed to talk about this, but data suggests that hypos will work differently on you than on other people. If you use a hypo when you're close to full health, you may experience the overpower effect, a temporary burst of strength and health.
You get buff.
It only lasts a short time, so try to take advantage of the temporary boost it gives you. But please, don't tell Commander Griffin I told you about this.
Yes, sowing the distrust in your compatriots early.
Yeah. I mean, you could probably tell from, like, the opening cutscene, but
That's like,
Commander Griffin turns out
are we
to
the
betray
baddies? I'm super shocked to hear that. So
So this is the guy you were supposed to meet
I
with.
found him.
these portraits I can't handle.
Yes, sir.
Keep moving.
They're
Notice-
Is that a scene later? What?
So this is saying that the Syndicate took him out.
Incoming objective data. Stand by.
Oh, hey, buddy.
Ooh, Cyberman.
Yeah. Haha.
Griffin is just the chief from Ghost in the Shell. Yeah, it's awfully close.
Ghost in the Shelly. Ghost in the
Geist in the
Shellish.
Shell.
Does anyone have a good name for a turtle? Ghost in the Shelly is actually a pretty
Oh,
solid
man,
name
it's
for a turtle.
ridiculous. Man,
Hey.
you remember when doors opened in video games without you having to touch them?
Yeah.
There's sort of been a back and forth throughout, I think, the history of video games on whether, like, doors need to be interacted with or not.
Because as soon as you have a door that needs to be, as soon as you have to like do something to make the door open, then you have to do an animation of the person doing the thing to make the
Not
door
necessarily. Like, a lot of games, you'll just, like, press action on it and it'll slide open. But it's interesting to me to think, like, where that decision makes and whether it...
And
it complements a particular type of game, or
I mean, here's like this.
particular type of-
This door just opens.
yeah.
This door, I have to activate.
Oh, so they got both.
Boop.
Huh.
And see, it's got a light. That's how you can tell.
Dead.
Neck breaker.
Fucking dead.
Ow.
Sometimes they use
What?
hide loading. Throw that fucker through the wall.
Yeah. Yeah, this is actually one of the earlier games in third person that instead of doing the like as you go near a wall, the camera goes up weird. It just goes, you know what? Let's just make it transparent. Fuck it.
That's probably actually like a big deal. I don't know whether there was a lot of other games like that did this, but Bungie's been a pioneer because these little things that we really take for granted, somebody had to do them first.
I mean, that's one of the things. Like, that's one of the things that makes me kind of sad about this game is that like this game has a lot of, has various issues to it, but the combat system and the way it moves and stuff, I always really liked, and it kind of makes me sad that
Somebody
it
has
didn't.
to be the brave SOB who tries it for the first time,
Yeah,
even if they like crash into a wall.
but like it kind of makes me sad that we've gone with the as a society we've gone with like the Arkham, the Batman sort of
Without paying our dues
The
to
block-
Oni.
the
Yeah.
block and counter system instead of something more like this. I mean the Batman one is fun too, but what? Ha!
Just gonna Hurricane on this guy. NBD.
Hey. Ow.
Wow. Crunch.
The interesting thing about the way the thing works is that the difficulty of fighting two guys,
That seems exponential.
like it goes up very quickly.
Also,
Whereas
like, in an era like this, even making you able to fight two guys at the same time without everybody's animation going straight into the toilet must have been quite a thing.
apparently, the rumor was originally there was going to be a multiplayer version. There was like going to be a multiplayer mode on this,
Dang.
and they couldn't get the character interactions combined with the latency
Oh,
of
yeah.
networking to work properly.
Funny you mentioned that because Absolver just came out.
What's that one?
It's a game that in some ways sort of reminds me of this one, where it's like very in-depth, like stance-based martial arts stuff, but it's over network. And that sounds like a very difficult thing to pull off. I've not played it, but it looks kind of cool. They made a lot of design choices to simplify a lot of it, which I wonder if that was not only a stylistic choice, but like a performance choice to make sure that the shit runs properly.
Ow.
That guy, dead.
Now he's dead. Rising Fury into the groin.
Oh right, back in the dial-up days.
Wow. It's kind of fun, that move. Notice, depending on the height of the guy and how he is in relation to me, it's either like a neck spin or just like a grab him under the arms.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if this was necessarily, not all third-person games are predecessors to Dark Souls.
Right.
I think, in some ways, I think From Software kind of referenced themselves because they did like 5 Kingsfield games before they did Dark Souls. Before they did Demon Souls.
I never heard of Kingsfield.
Kingsfield was, I think, on PSX and PS2. It was actually a series of first-person fantasy games
Oh, wow.
that were pretty rough around the edges, but
Yeah. Nobody's ever really done melee.
Catch him, Kanoko.
like sci-fi
Don't let
melee.
him reach the alarm console and activate
no.
it.
Oh no.
Actually, what?
I'm just a cute robo-loli. I don't know anything.
See if I can do this. So this guy's running for the alarm.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh god.
That's the backbreaker move. You can only do it when the guy's not facing you.
That's-
But yeah, you just
Jeez.
put your foot right
That
into
guy
his spine.
dead.
That guy had his priorities not not straight.
Yeah. See, now I'm trying to think, like, what other anime came out around this, like, time period?
So, one of the other big things with this game that was initially actually touted as, like, a positive.
Yeah. Oh,
And I think in hindsight, was not. But if you notice, I'm running around a lot of big square, very similar looking areas,
yeah.
hitting switches and opening doors. So one of the things was that they talked about, oh, this guy's got a welding mask.
And he's just coming out to punch you. I love the sort of, this is one of the video game things that we just sort of take for granted a lot of times.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's like random employees.
Random employees are just like, I must defend the company with my life, as opposed to like, fuck this, I quit.
Yeah.
You know, so some random dude in the loading dock is like, I will engage this elite police officer type person.
Yeah.
Maybe
I mean,
cyborg
she has like
armor and shit. He's like, you know what? No, I'm just gonna go clock her.
And she has a thing like written
My
on her
bare
chest
fucking
that
hands.
says TCTF,
Yeah.
which is the thing. So it's like she's the police.
So I was like, you know what? Better beat up the police and add that. But you know, that's one of those things that we just don't really.
Not in the face.
Oh, see, like this guy knows what's
You
up.
hurt
Yeah.
innocent people, then they won't want to help you.
That guy's a civilian. So you can cut
Thank you. They're holding the warehouse manager upstairs.
There we go.
Oh.
Bye.
Sometimes they'll give you things.
Just like ching.
Yeah, it'll be like, here, take this hypo. So one of the things that was put forward as like a cool aspect of this was, from what I understand, the level design for this.
Yeah.
The designing was actually done in CAD. Like, it was actually done with a it was actually done with actual architectural design software.
What?
With the idea being that then that will result in really realistic looking levels. Which is possibly true in the sense that, yeah, warehouses are probably lots of big square open rooms that look the same.
Yeah. I mean, CAD is very good
Took
at
over the whole
making
place and they're loading
squares.
some kind of armored truck. I think they're almost finished. You better hurry up. I'll open these doors for you.
Thanks, dude, man. And so, yeah, there was a definite tendency for lots of squares, and lots of squares populated by smaller squares.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we've come a long way. Like, I'm just looking at this and then like thinking about what we were playing yesterday on Let's Note, and just the level of detail in every single one of those scenes, and it just like looks, it's like starting to get pretty close to looking like actually real.
Yeah.
Which, you know, what levels look like in a game is this weird multi-part function of like, you know, what they have to do,
Wrong button.
how much you can afford to do, and how much time you have to do it.
And the balance between being like fun to play and being, you know,
Yeah.
somewhat real. I mean, it depends on what you're trying to do with your game, but
Yeah.
to be somewhat realistic.
Wham!
Dick.
So, I'm getting that. Those are really loud boots.
Wait,
A
where
lot,
am I
of,
going?
lot of tuppage in this game.
Right.
It's really funny the kind of stuff that, like, speaking of, we designed our video game with CAD. The weird little advertising or just like promo stuff that people would make up about video games. I guess sort of like when the medium was still like really young. And they're like, what do we say is good about this game? I don't know. We use we have blast processing. That's what we've got.
What's blast
literally make shit up.
It's like, what's blast processing? I don't know, but they don't have it.
Yeah.
How could they have it? You don't even know what it is. I know. That's this tricky part. Wait, where am I going?
Do you know what engine this was made on?
I believe it was their own.
Okay, so
I think it was a proprietary.
Because I was just thinking about Quake, which I don't know that we've done yet. Kind of shamefully, because we should definitely do Quake and maybe Quake 2 on Let's Know, or not on Let's Know, on Talking Simulator. But the one thing that I remember from Quake is that you had to be careful when modeling your levels, that you didn't let the gray smoke in, or your level wouldn't compile. Or
and the gray smoke was like
the gray smoke
stuff was outside?
The miasma outside of the level. That
so
you mustn't allow to enter through cracks in your geometry, or it would cause bad juju.
So if you had like a hole in your...
Yeah, if you had a hole in your geometry, it would fuck up your level.
That's cool. I like the... Oh, here we go. I guess I could come here before.
Kanoko, those syndicate troops are trying to remove evidence from the warehouse.
What? I'm rising fury. Well, they're fucking shooting at you now?
No fair.
There's no way to get
Oh shit!
They're shooting missiles at you?
Find some way to stop it from leaving the building.
This is like more video game stuff. It's like, hey, there's like... Okay, oh no, it's like an energy blaster. But,
yeah.
Like, you ever notice how in, like, video games...
Ow, 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 ow.
People will tend to, like... I guess, you know, use maybe inappropriate tools for the jobs that they need to do. It's like, oh, there's a soldier. How should we fight them? Well, let's shoot missiles at them. Although, there again, maybe that's not even a bad idea, because you have a health bar that's, like, the length of a highway.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like, oh, we need something that does lots of damage. What does the most damage? Explosions. Explosions always do the most damage. Well, how do we hit her with an explosion from a distance? Well, we use a missile. I love video game logic sometimes. I'm gonna turn the game down just a touch.
It's okay, I only got hit like 4 or 5 times.
You're fine. You should use your... what should I call it?
My gun?
Or your, hypo. It makes you, like...
Oh yeah, I can go fancy.
Go crazy.
I should try that next time.
Whoa! That must have taken months to animate. I'm mostly kidding.
Yeah, there is a gun in this. I always the gun
Action.
usage in this game was never that good. So I didn't really like it very much.
Nice. Oh no!
No, those are good guys. Those are my buddies.
Oh good. Do they have? Oh,
I found
oh
a
god, they
data
have
pad.
bunny ears.
An encrypted shipping manifest that links the warehouse to Musashi Manufacturing. I want to go check it out. It's not far from here.
Well done, Kanoko. Fall back. I'll have you picked up.
Musashi is owned by BGI. According to your latest report, BGI is a suspected syndicate front. If we can prove the connection, we can move against them. I can go in and...
Negative. Fall back.
We can't afford to
Negative. Fall back.
You're a loose cannon!
You're going to get away.
She won't back down. Her adrenals have been rising steadily.
Adrenals?
Too much stress could destabilize her latency.
I love
Right, Kanoko.
fucking techno
I'm giving
garbage.
you a
She's
shot.
gonna blow her shit.
Thank you, sir. I
Jill-
won't let you down.
Translation, she's real mad and will probably become upset. I like the face, it's like, I have too much wind. Why didn't I bring goggles on this bike?
But then my hair...
Everybody else is just like, I don't know what the fuck she's up to.
Yeah.
Why
She's
are-
like, why does she get a motorcycle? How come we gotta drive in this
Hey,
stupid van?
she's got a motorcycle and no fucking goggles or helmet.
Doop, 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 doop.
Character's voice actor mostly does English dubs of anime and Persona games. I don't really like dubs. It's a long discussion.
Good afternoon.
Oh my god,
Welcome
those
to the
fucking
Musashi
eyes.
Heavy Manufacturing
It's-
Am I cute?
How can I be of service?
It's got that old,
Am I Agent
like,
Thorson?
We are with
Fist-
the PCT
fist
Act, and
hands?
We
Yeah.
hereby order you to cease and desist all operations. We have reason to suspect that
Watch
this
out, I might get a
facility is
third
involved
highlight
in
in
the
my eye.
manufacture of illegal technology.
Gar.
Of course, officer. I'm sure I can get someone to help you.
beep, beep,
Let me just hit this button.
They're here, finally.
What?
Everything ready.
You know
Here are the
they
bad
are
guys.
getting
Grr.
alive.
Oh my god.
Things
He
start
look,
to get messy.
this guy looks like he
When I
just
get
walked
through
off
with
of
them,
like
they're-
Just make
Um,
sure I'm not interrupted.
like a
There may be
Spider-Man
someone with
comic.
them, An exceptional agent.
Can you
I'm
guess
ready for anything. You made sure of that.
which one of those two is related to your character?
Have you forgotten?
What?
I haven't. I'll be
Hair
careful.
color is hereditary.
Oh my god. Even purple hair color.
Please have a seat. Someone
It's
will
kind of
be
funny
right
how,
with
like,
you.
it's just like a trait of anime that's like
What the?
never ever really addressed in any meaningful way. Grrr! My grr face.
Whoa!
Oh, shoot him. He just goes up and melees the guy. It's like, they have guns! It's like, no, it's okay. I just have to deal more damage to them than they can for me, and I can do that better with my fists.
Oh, that guy's dead.
He does look like the Toxic Avenger a little bit.
Please help me!
Alright. So this is another level of wandering around places, doing stuff. Although, so, the interesting thing about this game is, of course, you get into this situation where you're like, okay, we got this cool fighting thing. How do we do boss fights?
Ah.
And apparently there was a thing where one of the bosses in this was originally supposed to be, it was going to be like a guy in a tank.
Uh-huh.
And then they were like, we can't figure out any way for her to punch a tank. Like, that's like semi-plausible how she can fight a tank.
Yeah.
Without doing anything. So, unfortunately, I think if I just go to the last save point in this area, we can see the boss.
New mission data.
Yeah. So the boss in this, if this area, it's a deadly brain, I think they call it.
Okay.
And see, there's a couple of
can't
boss
wait to see
fights in
this.
this game that follow the same format.
It's a puzzle boss, isn't it?
With the idea basically, there's the laser tripwires,
Uh-huh.
and you have to activate these consoles.
What happens if the laser tripwire hits you?
Then it starts shooting you.
Ah.
But I guess it can't see you,
Well, it
Unless
needs to
the-
see you with its laser tripwire.
I guess. I don't know why it doesn't have, like, a camera. But
Unfortunately, the brain's subconscious is attempting to crash the public news net. Something about the glory of instant celebrity. Oh, it's unleashing a torrent of digital images of itself. Stop it!
What the fuck?
like,
What
the translation
it had
was
dialogue
like,
there.
was like, it's you can resist my subtle charms and stuff. And it just goes,
This is really goofy. I like how you have casual police uniform outfit, and then like
This one is like your dress uniform for like
special.
Well, because you were like visiting. You were. It was supposed to be just like, hey, we're investigating this place, and then like the receptionist at the front
I am
desk.
a real fan of like
Its core logic on that final path.
the
brain
the
tells me
travesty
the brain
of
is
like
everything within a
police
50-block
procedure that
radius
happens in like
unless you
sci-fi.
meet the
And this isn't just a video
following
game thing. It's like
It wants feet.
like we just like roll in the front door, start barking like accusations at the fucking secretary. And he's like, "Oh no, better call the goon squad."
And then the secretary has.
It's like has a panic button that the like highly armored dudes show up to fucking kill you in the lobby.
It's like, isn't this gonna cause more problems in the long
No,
run?
we have to suppress the evidence by having a massive shootout in the lobby. You know, just like these things we don't talk about because they're just like well-worn tropes of like all manner of like
Yeah,
sci-fi
yeah. I mean,
action.
that's not even a video game.
No,
thing.
it's not,
just
that's not a video game thing at all. It's just funny, like, that it shows up in here. It's just like this sort of like, I guess like action genre logic that gets applied when if you actually examine it even slightly, it's just like what?
So yeah.
I love it though. It's like it's corny and it's fun.
This thing, it said it's gonna detonate its nuclear core if we don't give it feet.
This is really weird.
And I think it's dead now.
Boop.
So that was one way they figured out how to do boss fights.
Well, it's interesting that, like, we were sort of talking about this
According to Shinatama,
earlier.
her Deodan latency has crept up to 29, but her bioplasmic waveforms are holding.
Oh, thank God.
Still stable.
So far as we can tell, yes, but prolonged stress could be dangerous.
She insisted.
And this is why I was against moving to Phase 3. We have no right to put that in.
I'm getting tired of listening to your self-righteous tirades. Kanoko is as much your creature as she is mine.
Yeah, we were talking about...
She has 2 dads.
That's weird. Sort of like provisions of gameplay that just sort of like happen. Like, it's we have a third person run around and beat 'em up game, so we have to have bosses.
Right.
We have to have bosses. That's just a thing we need to put in there, you know, as like a game design element. And then it's like, well, how do we make the bosses work? Because like there's not really a way to do that. It's like, well, we figured out something. It's just like
I believe this is actually...
Doors have been locked through the security controls, and something is keeping our agents.
Whoa! No! Oh, here he comes! Laser gun.
Barabbas.
Let's get it on.
Oh my God. That's a good OC right there.
So this
He's
is
just fucking dead.
No.
Just dead.
They're switching it up here. This is you fight the boss at the beginning.
Oh, okay. And this is just like a highly powered dude that has more health.
Well, this guy's the the second in command. See, he can block my stuff too.
Oh.
Like a dick. He also really likes his gun, which I believe I can pick up.
Ah, no! Is this what?
No.
Oh, you powered him up.
Okay, that was a terrible idea.
He does kind of look like Brock Lesnar.
In like a mech suit. Damn it! Ow!
But yeah, like this sort of like mob mini boss, mega boss kind of pattern is a thing in video games.
Ow!
Definitely works. It's been proven to work a long time for ages.
Yeah, that's like back to the side scroller days, right?
But it's not like it doesn't always work, and not necessarily implying that this is an example of that, but like it does sometimes get like kind of thoughtlessly invoked, just because it's like, bye, I must return to my home planet.
Who is with them? The agent you warned me about. I couldn't take her. Where is she? She's on her way.
He's so sad. He's like, I couldn't take her. I'm sorry.
But yeah, you get some interesting games when you deliberately decide
reports
to
from inside the research lab indicate that syndicate troops are all over the building.
kind of go against tradition.
I think they're searching for research data. But
Oh,
it's
yeah.
hard to
Oh,
tell.
that's a skybox. What I was going to point out was another game that I thought that we should do.
Literal
at some point.
skybox.
Yeah, which is Shadow of the Colossus.
Ah,
It's like, what if we made a game that was only bosses? It's like, what? Madness!
I do love.
Oh, wait, it completely worked and it was really good.
I do love my Shadow of the Colossus.
I heard that like Titan Souls did that as well, didn't it? And that game was pretty well received, wasn't it?
Titan Souls.
Yeah.
I don't know that one.
Excuse me. But yeah.
I think maybe I'm supposed to be in. Maybe this is all in like a dome city or something. I don't know. No, I think it's just a bad skybox.
I wonder though.
Oops.
Wow, just cold cocked. Yeah, I wonder if there's the reverse where it's a game that has like no bosses whatsoever.
I mean,
That seems
I guess
less
it depends
common.
on what you mean by a boss, right? Like you have to have
like an enemy that is like
you have to have
more
some kind of
powerful.
progression. Obviously, otherwise it's not.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like bosses are usually marked by a marked increase in like defenses, attacks, tactics.
Yeah, there's
Just
sort of a culmination.
Very broadly speaking, that like they're either kind of like one especially big creature, the likes of which you've been fighting this whole time, or one that's very different from most of what you've been fighting, or both.
Whoop, 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 ow.
Well, they can be narratively important. Not always though. Sometimes a boss just shows up because it's like, well, we went 20 minutes without a boss. Better throw a fucking boss in here, or the player will get bored.
The big thing they used to do was they'd have, you know, there'd be the boss, and then that boss would just become like a regular dude later on.
Yeah, that's how the game tells you that
it would be
it's
like
not messing around.
Tough. It would be like, you know, Bigger Knight is the boss, and then Bigger Knight just becomes a regular dude.
Dark Souls does that to great effect. Like the second boss you fight, the Taurus Demon, which is like you fight him on parapets, and he's like pretty scary. And then later in the Demon Ruins, there's like 10 of them, and you're like, oh, well that sucks. Except that I can totally take these guys now.
Trying to think what's a good some good example areas. Airport assault is kind of cool. Well, actually, so this is the TCTF Regional HQ is kind of a neat idea because you go through it. They do this thing where you go through it twice, like at the beginning and at the end of the game, but everything has changed inside. So the idea is here that the Syndicate is attacking the headquarters.
Okay.
And so you're like, oh shit, I gotta get in there to help. And then later on in the game, when you're like, you know, TCTF has actually betrayed me, blah blah blah, then you're the one who's breaking in. And so this time you're going from the basement up to the roof, and then at the end you have to go from the roof down to the basement.
Interesting. I mean, sometimes like little changes in pattern can make a lot of difference. I was following a thread on Tumblr at one point, and somebody came up with this great idea. I don't know if it was ever executed well anywhere, but it was like,
Showtime.
Yes, showtime. Midriff suit, go.
Yeah, not the best thing for motorcycle riding, but there it is.
We'll talk about that in a second. The idea was that like you're the princess up in the tower, and you get bored, and you decide like, oh fuck this, I'll bust myself out, and you fight from the top down.
And then you meet the guy coming up the other way.
Yeah, and you wipe him out by accident. And it was kind of cool because like the enemies would go up in difficulty like naturally, because you know you don't need very good guard at the top, but you do at the bottom. So like the difficulty would progress as you descend, and then by the time you exit, there's some like dude, you like total him. It's like, oh whoops.
I love that.
Yeah, like 90s games. See, the problem is that like this isn't even a 90s game thing. This is just like video games.
I mean, to be fair though, like it's not actually that bad a motorcycle outfit, really. There are actual real motorcycle outfits that are kind of like this.
Really?
She's got all like the knee pads
Lily?
and stuff.
Oh right, she's at PAX, so it's gonna be like, you ride motorbikes, right? It is just like it's always just kind of funny to me watching like the like requirement for sex appeal and requirement for like costuming, like sort of like playing a tug of war with each other, and the weird compromises they sort of come up with.
Yeah.
Why is that wall fucked up? Whoa!
This guy's a wrestler, dude.
He looks like he came out of a Rob Liefeld comic.
He does.
That helmet?
You're right, yeah.
He looks like Prophet. You know, it's sort of like vaguely military guy. Like, you wouldn't be able to tell if this guy was like bottom of the totem pole or like the most important guy ever. Because nothing about his character design tells you anything.
Also looks like an American Gladiator. Yeah.
Yeah? Laser guns. Oh no, I fell. See, they're shooting missiles at you! I knew it!
Yeah, somebody's shooting me. I think there's a guy up on the... Oh.
This is like only vaguely related to what we're talking about, but the new comic, recently a comic based on Prophet, the character by Liefeld, came out, and it's actually pretty cool.
But not... It's based on the character, but not by Liefeld.
No, not Liefeld. It's by several different artists. It's pretty cool.
Hey, buddy.
Over here.
What?
Take this ammo clip. It'll help you.
Oh, thanks. You're awesome.
Oh yeah, Brandon Graham and Simon Roy. That's the one. Yeah, Simon Roy is really good. Brandon Graham is really good.
He's fine.
Read King City.
He's fine.
It's a clozapine. Whoa! She's just wailing on this dude.
Oh Jesus! They just suplex that guy.
I was gonna say, yeah, I do enjoy the sort of like random, you know, like this game is kind of like a collage of like nerd culture's favorite shit all at the same time. It's just like...
Did she just walk into the fire and die?
I think so.
Excuse me.
Yeah, it's just like...
Oh, they're maniacs, and you got here just in time.
It's...
Oh, thank you. She gave me a high
Oh wait,
five.
don't do it. Okay, I thought she was just gonna get incinerated. But yeah, like...
She definitely died.
You know what this kind of reminds me of? It reminds me a little bit of what Ruby is like.
Ruby.
At least the RWBY.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Which I have heard actually mixed things about it. Like I've heard that it starts kind of bad and then gets kind of good and then maybe gets bad again and then maybe gets good again. I don't know. But it's kind of like if DeviantArt made an anime, what they would be like. And again, it has that sort of like, we took all the stuff that like American fans love the most about anime and made a cartoon about that. And it really shows just like, I see what are the most important things to you in this. It's just
do you
like...
think... I mean, like, that's always the question. It's like, do you think, you know, things like, say, whatever, like, you know, fan service or various things... Like, do you think there's really that big a difference in what North American fans want and what Japanese fans want?
We've disabled the power substations.
There's definitely differences. I think what's interesting to me is what that sort of distillation process reveals. Because it's like, you know, you have a Japanese studio makes like an anime or a manga or something, you know, for ostensibly for Japanese audiences, and then like it gets exported to the States. You know, people latch onto it. They're like, I love this. It's so good. And then it's like, we're gonna pick and choose this, and this aspect of it. Remove those from whatever else is left, and you know, like make that. And what elements are borrowed or adapted is kind of telling of what people's, you know, taste is of that sort of thing. So, you know, you see a lot of the like iconic stuff, but it's just like, to bring it back to Ruby, like the thing I got was like cute girls with big goofy weapons and lots of bright colors. It's like, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just like, the story.
But the idea that there aren't actually anime made in Japan that are exactly like that,
no,
I think
there's like, it's a hard thing to pin down exactly what the difference is. Like, I'm trying to come at it from like a way where I'm not just like shitting all over that sort of stuff, because like I've got reservations about it, but it's like I think we could look a little closer at like what makes these kind of like iterative works the way they are. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
because the other thing that this is reminding me of is Adam Warren's early Dirty Pair comics, because they got a couple of artists during this sort of era to, you know, start aping on anime style. And again, they they aped certain elements of it, and it was kind of telling.
Ow!
What? You just fucking Frankensteiner you! Or no, there's a tombstone pile driver. What the fuck?
Like I think that this level like has the people who actually work here fighting.
Yeah. See, like that's what I'm talking about. It's just like, you know, we're gonna have fighting in our game. What's the coolest type of fighting? You know,
yeah.
It's like we'll just take like stuff from here and here and here and here. And you know what? I fucking love pro wrestling. Who doesn't love pro wrestling? We'll throw these moves in, and it's like it's just kind of it's gloriously goofy. You know, that's maybe not even a criticism. It's just like,
and I think that's
okay.
What?
I think I might have a metaphor here.
Okay.
Stuff like this.
Stop shooting me.
Is kind of the result you get when you turn a kid loose on the dessert bar, like the sundae they make.
Right.
That's what I think this is like.
Possibly misinformed.
Exactly. It's just like, no, I'm just gonna take the stuff I like the most and tons of it, and just like throw it in a big.
Without any regard of whether it's actually a good combination.
Whether it's a good combination or whether it works or anything, it's like, no, I just want tons of that. I want like, you know, a mountain of score bars smothered in gravy.
I told them we'd just make things worse if we tried to use these
Whoa.
guns. You should be the one using this.
What is that?
She gave me a sweet
Laser
gun.
super shooter gun.
Thanks, lady. She's like, I told them we would die if we tried to shoot them. Here, take this gun. Whoa, shit.
Oh.
Pow! Ooh, I like that. It's like a stun gun. Ow.
Just crush him.
Ow.
Get him.
Boom. I like the way they do the health of the guys. Like, it's just different colors when you hit them.
Yeah,
It's a nice sort of subtle, one of those sort of not minimizing the amount of UI you have to show.
Yeah, you know, you see little mechanics like this in games that I would say get underutilized sometimes. Like that.
Well done, sir. Well done.
You fucked up.
Ready to lose?
I salute you.
Yep.
With my taunt.
Yeah, like there's definitely I've played a lot of games, and I've played a lot of real shitty games. Not to imply that this one is shitty, but like I've played a wide gamut of quality of video games, and sometimes the ones that like get overlooked a lot have one or two mechanics in them that are really, really great and would translate well to other mediums, but they just never seem to, because, you know, I think a lot of times the game gets overlooked. So
I've got a new heading for you.
You can learn just as much from an interesting failure as you can from a interesting success.
Yeah, and I mean that's what this game really is an interesting failure. Like it's it's hard to argue that it wasn't a failure in the end. I mean, I think obviously commercially, I'm pretty sure it was a failure, considering they didn't make any more.
But I mean, like,
and you know, it has all sorts of issues from a gameplay perspective, but I do really enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, and it makes me wonder how much like groundbreaking it did in a couple different ways. You know, what kind of whoa, you got reversed, son.
Female striker.
That's a good crunch. You know, what kind of path this started. This was the only game made by Bungie West.
Interesting.
Bungie West. Huh.
I did not know that was a thing.
Did it go under after that, or? Gotta steal a chair first. It's a bad game in the way that Jupiter Ascending is a bad movie. I mean, I kind of like Jupiter Ascending. Well, that's a tough comparison. Did you see Jupiter Ascending?
I did, yeah.
It's so fucking rad.
It does.
You know what I mean? Like, it's corny and it's dumb and like, but like, who fucking cares? It's rad.
Yeah, I will say. Yeah, although I will say that your Sunday analogy is actually probably pretty good for that one too.
Yep. Yep.
This guy, oh yeah, he's a fucking dog. Why? It's cool.
I like doggos.
Stay away!
Jesus
Christ. Help!
Gotcha.
What the fuck? Oh no, they stole our robot Loli.
No.
Why does she look like that?
There's a very scientific reason that she has to look like a pink-haired little girl.
That's fine. Whoa.
Like, I won't get into it right now.
It's really, it's nanomachines, son.
Yeah. Look, it's too complicated to explain to you right now, but just trust me on this. I can show you the math. It's got to be a pink-haired little schoolgirl.
Yep. It's sort of, I mean, it's like, it looks like they collided their references to Ghost in the Shell with their references to Sailor Moon. A little bit. Because like actually in the Ghost in the Shell manga, there are operators like that, but they look like just
people,
just regular like boring ass like desk ladies.
Right.
And then one of them gets like electronically fried. And, like, you know, it's all fucked up. It's like, oh, well, it's a robot. How about that? Although, yeah. Ghost in the Shell is a weird one because then it gets into like the entire other discussion about like Masamune Shiro's like really weird sex stuff. Yeah, that's an awful lot to unpack. He's really good about it in a lot of stuff. Like
I feel like they didn't import that aspect of that into this game, which is probably just as well.
Well, at least they wouldn't have been allowed to.
Yeah.
Well, once you're done punching this guy out, we should take our first break.
We should.
And then we can come back and continue working through this.
Oh.
Alright. Hello. What?
Yeah, they stopped access to the high security chambers of
just open your fucking mask!
Thank goodness.
Couldn't blow it free, huh? Get me a laser torch, quick!
What for?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Here.
I had a laser torch on me. Alright.
Tiny noodle girl. Okay, we'll be back. Don't go away.
That guy talking with a muffled voice is awesome.
There we go.
Hey, we're back with Oni.
Bonk.
By the way, if you happen to be interested in playing Oni yourself, because this came out in the way long ago times, it doesn't run on current computers naturally. But if you have the disc for it, or you get it by some means, you can download this update called the Oni Anniversary Edition, which is a fan-made, basically like a patch thing.
Oh, okay.
That does a bunch of it does a few different things. For one thing, it lets it run at higher resolutions and does a few other things, and also allows it to run on Windows 10. Weirdly, so Oni came out for PC and Mac. And because this was Bungie, so they were releasing stuff on PC and Mac.
They pushed Mac really hard.
I mean, they were originally Marathon was originally just a Mac game. Yep. It only came out on PC later. Originally, the first patch to make Oni run on OS 10, because originally Oni was an OS 9 was a OS 9
Holy
game.
shit!
The patch, and by the time it was by the time it was ready to by the time OS 10 came out, Bungie wasn't really paying attention to it. The patch to check this out.
Whoa, this is a good idea.
Gotta go.
This is a good idea.
Whee! Well, that went fine.
What year did The Matrix come out? It was 99, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Gotta get those references in there.
So that guy's got a sniper rifle, which I do not
Some
like.
sort of
So
railgun.
the it hadn't come out for OS. Okay, I really don't like that sniper rifle thing. It hadn't. So it didn't run on OS 10, obviously, because
yeah,
OS 9 stuff didn't run on OS 10. And so the first patch to make it work on OS 10 was made by the Omni Group, which, if you know, like Omni, like Omni Gaffle, like they didn't do video games. They did productivity software.
What?
But I guess they just liked the game.
All right.
Like they were totally unaffiliated with Bungie.
Crazy.
I like this one.
Get that. Oh yeah. Oh my god. Can you aim down sights on this or just
No.
Fire it for a second? It's the railgun from Eraser. Do you remember that Schwarzenegger film? You've been erased.
Right.
I think the only thing I remember about that is that he's part of like a secret organization that like makes people disappear, and then turns out they're the bad guys. What a twist! Just, you know, it'd be so easy to do a sci-fi these days where like the people you work for seem really sketchy, and then it turns out they're not the bad guys at all. You're like, what? I wasn't working for the evil guys the whole time. They were actually just completely on the level, and I was skeeved out because of like shitty tropes.
Oh no. My whole perception of the world is broken. It's like I remember I was talking to Graham one time about the idea that I bet if an apocalypse came and the world, the world was looking for a new leader in this strange world, I bet Malcolm McDowell could just be like, I will lead you. And everyone would be like, yep, that makes sense. He seems like the right kind of person for this.
Seems fine.
We're so used to Malcolm McDowell taking control in an apocalypse that he could just get away with it.
Yeah. I do enjoy the sort of level design you only really see in video games.
The extreme lack of safety rails?
Yeah, just like, stuff that...
Bye!
Because like video games, they have to...
That's why we have safety rails.
It's like they have to design levels so that, they play it right, but you do end up seeing a lot of like goofy stuff. Again, that like under cursory examinations, like, huh? Stairwells in weird places. No, no guardrails. Hey, there you go.
See those little things there?
What are those?
Those are laser defense things that activate this turret right there. Yeah. No, but they're not on at the end of the game when I come back through here. Wow, that guy had knocked off the edge, came all the way back up. Good job, guy. I admire your persistence.
Yep.
But yeah, next time when I come back through here, this is all turned on. And it's more, obviously makes it more difficult.
Cool.
It's kind of a neat aspect of it. Alright.
This is a time where probably can't really matter. Yeah. So, you just like...
Guy prematurely...
You cut the stuff that's not all that important. It's like, well, I have a surface to walk on, guardrails be damned.
The other thing, one thing with this game was that it was, like, they had to make big cuts to it. To the extent that if you look in the... Oops.
Just like
I almost
aiming
punched
for this
you.
guy.
I think they're headed for the... Okay. You're not very... You're not helpful. but to the extent that if you look in like the folder, like the game folder, if you do some sweet hacks, as in just open up the game folder and look at what's inside, there's folders for like level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 12. Like they actually didn't even. They were at the point where they didn't even bother to renumber the levels.
That's awkward.
So, which means like they must have been like a very late removal.
Yeah, I mean, like, something that I've been wanting to do for a long time on this show is get someone who's done actual game dev on to talk about, like,
just the
process, because like a lot of these criticisms we level against video games, I think, are some of them anyway, like inherent.
And I mean, like, obviously not having done game development, sure, but you know, being involved in any kind of creative endeavor, you know, it's pretty clear. You know, you can take a pretty darn good guess at a lot of this stuff, right?
Yeah, although sometimes it is surprising. Yeah, we could get Corey, we could get Nick. But yeah, oh. We did have a dev from Colonial Marines.
Bye.
Oh no!
Bye.
Oh, there's definite shades of Bubblegum Crisis here.
Bye. Don't smash into the skybox. Oh no! It's right there!
You again.
You can't escape me.
I can't see over my...
Says I want to
You're there, right?
Go on, shoot me right in the abs.
I have to fight this. I think this is the last time I have to fight this guy. Yep.
Renumbering levels is dangerous and not worth the risk. Yeah.
I mean, what are the chances of people looking in the folder?
Yeah, I mean, it's an irrelevant detail. It's just kind of funny. This is Victor Hammock Slam reporting to you from outside of the skybox.
I was like, wait, I have a gun.
Right.
Ow!
Yeah, this is just like, it really is like a quilt made of sort of, when did this game come out?
I don't know offhand, actually. I'm sure somebody can look it up on the Wikipedia.
Well, like, just tons of stuff that was relevant at the time.
Stronger and stronger. Stronger and stronger. Earthquaker.
2001. So, like, late 90s, early 2000s stuff.
So, I mean, Matrix was 99, so this was after the Matrix.
2 years after that.
So this might have been in development, but certainly they certainly had time to be... Oh, shit.
Don't worry, Shinatama. I'm on my way.
I'm just looking at the...
Oh, poor Shinatama.
Oh no, wait, what the fuck? That was really weird.
I think this is the thing where, this is where we get to see how much of a dick your brother is.
Yeah,
He goes into super mustache twirl mode.
So, like... let's see, Dark Horse... Okay, so... Ghost in the Shell, the original serialization was 89 to 90, but...
I've dispatched a strike team to recover the SLD.
This is personal.
Which is precisely why you should have nothing to do with it.
I'm just trying to
My
tell
mind is made up.
when
I
it
am
came
your
out in
commanding officer.
America.
I don't care who you are. My friend is in trouble, and I am going to help her if I can. Stay out of my way.
Also, I have wings.
Wow.
Or
just cause. Yeah, the movie 95? That movie still fucking holds up, man.
Which?
The original Ghost in the Shell movie.
Oh.
It's like really good. I want to watch it again, like the OG version. They did a re-release of that movie where they added in a bunch of CG bullshit and Kathleen and I couldn't make it 10 minutes through. Before tilting.
I feel like the fade distance is a little off.
It's fine.
We're just in the black void. It's fine. Alright. Well, a bunch of shit happens. This is the Atmospheric Conversion Center. Ooh. Regional State Building, rooftops.
I've not heard good things about the live action version.
The live action version?
Yeah.
I saw it. It was entertaining. I don't actually know that much about, the show. Like, I haven't seen the series.
I guess it was just kind of confusing to me. Like, there's only so much I can say, having not literally seen it. But what it looked like to me was that they did a couple of like really almost slavish recreations of classic scenes from the movie, but also like a bunch of other random stuff. It was like they just sort of like picked a bunch of stuff from all the different versions of Ghost in the Shell and were just like, let's make a movie and cast ScarJo because she's got star power. So,
all right. What's a good?
Let's also like apparently like ditch a lot of the sort of like transhuman kind of like weird existential themes and just be like, oh no,
it's basically it's this thing again, right? It's the oh no, the people who you
were working for the bads. You worked for the bads.
It turns out they weren't telling you everything. It's RoboCop.
Ghost in the Shell live action is a remake of RoboCop.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, that sounds about right.
All right, here I'll show you. This is the closest thing they do to a boss fight of a guy who is. So you're chasing. You are chasing this like crazy ninja guy. This guy.
Whoa, Super Ninja Man!
And so now you have. So this is actually like a straight up. You have to fight another person who's also a fancy kung fu guy.
Ooh. My stance on stuff like the Ghost action, like live action Ghost in the Shell movie, like I think it extends even further than just like it not being necessarily a good adaptation. It's just like I'm actually just sick to death of remakes. Period. Like I wish they would stop doing that because it's like how much more can we strip mine the like 80s and 90s of their nostalgia value or like original content value before like how many fucking Spider-Man reboots have we had over the last like not even 10 years?
Yeah.
It's just like stop.
I mean that's a little different. That's not like not like remaking a nostalgia property. That's just like that's just we can't do it. For some reason we can't get it. I guess we don't feel like we're getting it right, so we have to keep redoing it.
Well, it's also just like
by the way, you can tell
comic books are like maybe in a category of their own.
You can tell by her outfit right now, by the way. Now she's in badass mode.
The thing is, like, remakes aren't guaranteed success, are they? Like, a lot of them punt really hard.
No, but they have I think they just have a leg up. They're not definitely not a guaranteed success.
I mean, I guess you're right that they're a safe investment or
yeah,
a safe
they have their starting level is a little higher than an original property, probably.
Which is a real drag.
Whoop!
Goodbye.
Oh crap! I think you just suplexed me into the sub-ocean. It not perfect system.
See if you can like glitch your way up.
Cowabunga?
Later.
Wait. Did I find the floor and then die?
I think so. I guess so. Wow. Oh no! All your clothes came off.
It was a long fall, man. All that wind.
Oh.
I like this guy. So it's always the same mission failed screen.
Okay.
There's nobody who looks like
he's just some random dude.
Yeah, like there's no guy with that color hair who's a main character. Like, it's just not a thing in the game. I don't know whether that's just a random guy that for some reason was given greater prominence.
The guy looks like Heihachi from Tekken. He does.
Bye.
Did you?
Did I just one punch him? Oh no, he can get ready. He can teleport.
Okay.
As demonstrated. Like a dick, and then he goes invisible, except it's not actually invisible.
Sort of not appearing in this game.
I will find you.
Yeah. Every once in a while, I will see a sequel that I think was really worth it, like Fury Road.
A remake.
Sorry, Fury Road is...
No. I mean, but like,
well,
like you. I mean, you were talking about remakes.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Like sequels are a whole different idea, but I mean, they can also be.
Yeah, I mean, they're at least a little bit. I mean, it's like you got a tiered system of like, you know.
I mean, at least
remake, sequel, OC.
At least theoretically, sequels are telling like a different story.
Yeah.
With the same characters.
They're at least trying to go.
Like remakes are explicitly the same story.
Yeah, it's like the same shit, but now with lasers. I don't know.
But yeah, I'd say Fury Road was sort of a reimagining, I guess, in some ways.
Yeah, it was really good. I liked it a lot.
I guess it could be considered a sequel, depending on how your...
It seems like a sequel. I mean, I think...
Depending on what your feelings about the Mad Max chronology are.
Yeah, well, I mean, I subscribe pretty hard to the idea that Mad Max is a folk hero.
Yeah.
Rather than a literal person.
I like that.
You know, it's just like, there's always a dude who has a car and a shotgun, and he like sticks up for the little guy and has a disturbed past.
Yeah.
Like
I like the idea that and that's, to me, that's really the only thing that makes it kind of work.
Yeah.
And I think
it's especially the only thing that makes it work in the video game, which I also actually quite liked, except for the story.
Except for the story? I heard the video game was quite good.
Super fun and very good and really pretty. But like, it takes place in Australia after the ocean has dried up.
Griffin encouraged me not
I mean,
to
that's...
And Max is talking about, it's like, oh, I remember, you know, when the bad dudes killed my wife, like, 10 years ago. It's like...
Well, the ocean, that was in Fury Road, too, right?
Maybe?
I mean, it wasn't explicit, but because there's the thing with, like, the salt flats that go on forever.
Yeah.
Nothing.
So... And dried up to where? Shh, don't worry about it. It went away!
I like her hair changes from being like this, like sort of a, almost like a kind of pointy thing out this way.
This sort of cat burglar thing is really funny. I hope nobody notices me.
She's crossing lines that say do not cross. Okay. This is the, I think this is kind of a video game tropey and thing. This is the dream level.
Okay.
This is actually pretty awesome.
Alright.
So this is, you're trying to find out information about your past.
What it would have been like to have known him.
Fortunately, I can't skip cutscenes.
That's fine.
We never shared.
CD schloop.
So.
Since the loss of my beloved Jamie,
I have tried to find a way to excuse my survival.
Got her dad's diaries.
Sacrifice must have some meaning, or the tragedy of it will overwhelm me. I met Jamie when she was a student of mine. She was one of my best. It was also obvious that she was an exceptional person. I fell for her from the start. Jamie was an activist.
Hanky-panky with a student.
She knew government was concealing the facts about the environmental crisis. She was determined to set things straight no matter what the cost. Jamie convinced me to join the struggle. We both knew it was dangerous, but we were young and thought we were indestructible.
We were right.
I miss her terribly. We never should have left the city, but we wanted proof of what was being allowed to happen. They called it a wilderness preserve. It was one of the contaminated zones. The dirty secrets that the government made it easy to ignore. We knew that traveling there would brand us as enemies of the state. We thought we were prepared to deal with the consequences of our choice.
Uh-oh.
What happened was more horrible than anything we could have ever imagined.
Should have worn long pants.
On our way into the zone, Jamie cut her leg.
What the fuck?
The wound became infected almost immediately. I'd never seen anything like it.
Shit's toxic, yo.
She was dying in my arms, and there was nothing I could do to save her. All I could do was ease her pain.
By
the world outside the
doing a fireworks show for her
is poisonous.
She always loved fireworks.
If something isn't done, we are all doomed. Jamie's death won't be in vain. I'm going to do something about the nightmare that killed her. Her brother will help me.
He misses her as much as I do. Jamie Hasakawa. Maiden name Jamie Kerr. Kerr's sister. Shinatama was right. Kerr worked with my father.
Hello.
But on what?
You really don't know?
Dum.
Tell me.
Bro.
No more time for questions, little girl.
So it's fight time.
We got. So this is. Yeah, we got ground fog.
Do.
Also,
boop, boop,
shit's going weird.
Boop.
Ow!
Whoa! It's a fucking figure 4 leg lock.
Is that dream music?
It's Kirby's Dreamland music.
Oh, I see. Ow! Ow!
Jeez. The longest journey is a puzzle where you have to carry a can of pop across an entire city so you can use a paint mixer to shake it so that when you bring it back across town you can prank a cop so they'll let you into a crime scene. Okay. Puzzle games.
So this is all dream style.
Yep. This is like strong style, only jumping in shadows.
Kanoko, this way.
Oh no! Even in the dream, there's still these. Oh, they're tiny.
Yeah.
That's kind of. That is kind of funny. Weird stuff happens in dreams. How can we reuse these assets in a way that's I know. We'll make them half as big.
Yeah, reuse assets in a fun way. Ah, he's invisible.
He's in the invisible vestibule. Whoa!
Ow!
Whoa! Okay, hold up.
Fuck, dreams hurt. Following your dreams is a terrible idea. My dreams are assholes. Oh. Oh, my dream is gloating over my corpse.
Jeez. Again. Oh no.
What happens?
I'm being reduced to like shredded clothing again.
What happens in your dream happens in real life. Okay.
I think, yeah, I get it.
You get the idea. There's some cool stuff there. Is this the... Oh, nope, wrong one. That's
Whoa!
That's more dreams.
Oh no! It's
the
Scott Lightning Gun.
Sky. Okay. Sorry, that was more dreaming stuff.
Science prison.
It's for the really dangerous science.
Okay.
Obviously. There's a TCF feature. There is a cool... Is this the one that... Oh yeah. I dig the music in this part.
It's a good soundtrack. Grar! Laser chop! Laser chop! Lion a half?
Lion axe, I think.
Okay.
Half lion!
I like that he's wearing a paintball mask.
No way out. But something Kerr said. There might be a way. I've got to make it to the biomatter disposal vats.
It's fine. Stop shooting!
Crunch. You gotta go to the poop chute.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, biomatter disposal vat is how you're renaming the toilets. Yeah, we should definitely do that, like here.
Call it that biomatter disposal
Biomatter
vat?
disposal vat. I mean, it's completely accurate. It is just the poop chute.
Lay off, buddy.
Asshole.
Boom!
Wow.
Suplex.
So I just noticed that like you're now fighting 3 guys at a time.
Yeah.
Which I actually kind of dig as a way of ramping up difficulty in games because like
these guys are tougher guys, but yeah,
true, but
more of them. I mean, it's certainly a more.
It complexifies combat in a way that's a little more interesting than just like here is. It's like here your first enemy is the blue guy. Now you fight the orange guy, which is exactly identical to the blue guy, but he has twice as much health and does twice as much damage.
Yeah.
And it's like
that's always the worst.
It's a really simple way to increase difficulty, but it's a really boring way to increase difficulty. I mean, it's also one that works, which is why they keep throwing it.
Wait, they really.
Yeah, like
they really like. Fucking.
Yeah, I do definitely enjoy games that deign to try something a little different. Like that was something that they did in Killing Floor 2, where the enemies, as the difficulty increased, they didn't just get more health and attack power. They would have different moves and different tactics. I didn't explore too far into that, but like enemies would behave in entirely different ways on the higher difficulties. That's a missile launcher.
No, it's a weird thing launcher.
Excuse me? It's it's coming right for you.
Yeah, it's like a killer cloud of kill.
What the fuck? Cloud of kill. That's really weird.
That gun is the worst.
Yeah. Also, like, even this little sequence of, you know, they throw a tough melee guy at you supported by a dude.
Yeah.
Shooting it. That's like that's a thing that Dark Souls did a
like,
lot. Was just enemies complementing one another in interesting ways.
Yeah, combining enemies. And
yeah. Well, just that to sort of like complexify the challenge in a sort of non-linear way.
I love it when the guy who's got the rocket launcher or the grenade launcher is like, fuck it, I'm just gonna fire at my feet. I don't care about my life.
Yeah.
If I kill her, it's
Such
worth
a spear guy and his 2 crossbow friends. Yeah, I mean, it's like there's nothing more boring than a game that's just like, throw a guy at you, throw like 3 identical guys at you.
Yeah.
Go down exactly the same way. Here's a guy and a stronger guy. But like enemies that have like different tactics and like you put them together in ways that like they have advantage with the geometry of the level or their positioning. Like the encounter in Blighttown, the reason it's so infuriating is because you're dealing with all these regular mobs on all these catwalks, and the whole time there's these guys camouflaged as the level shooting tiny poisonous darts at you that just like rip through your health. So it's a clusterfuck. That guy dead.
Yeah. Those guys also dead because that guy fired a grenade launcher.
Well,
so that was...
go to the biodisposal vats. What weapons should I use? A grenade launcher.
The crane controls.
She seems real mad about those crane controls.
I mean, I think she's just mad about life in general right now. And to be fair, it's hard to falter on that. Things have been kind of shitty for her lately.
You can't have an evil base without a pool of green liquid. Yeah, it's true.
What's the green liquid?
It's science slime.
Also, we have triple redundancy on our crane controls. No, crap, don't have time. Oh, I'm gonna die. Oh, I died. Well, anyway.
Oh, these are the Soylent vats. It's Flubber. Whoa! I control the world now.
Right, different mission failed screen.
It's all mine. I would love to see a game that picks up right after the evil bad guy wins and he's like, I'm gonna take over the world, and it's just the political fucking nightmare of him trying to administrate everything. He's like, I give up. I don't care. Have your own local government. Fuck this. You people are scum.
By the way, another issue with this game, no save, and this is where the checkpoint was, right? Like that entire thing.
Yikes. That's bad.
Yeah.
No quick save or anything?
No quick save. There's a couple of parts. There's like 2 or 3 levels where the save points are in stupid places.
There might be a way.
Well.
Okay. The last, or not necessarily the last thing, but the one other thing I wanted to show you. This actually might be an okay level to show you this.
Biomatter disposal.
So, one of the cool things about this game is, obviously games have cheat codes and stuff.
Yeah.
Because of how the engine was designed for this, all the characters are rigged in the same way.
Okay.
So what that means is you can open the pause window, go...
I'm in.
This, and you can change your person to anybody who's been loaded into this level.
Oh.
So you can be like, I'm gonna be her, or I'm gonna be him, or I'm gonna be him, or I'm gonna be Shinatama, or I'm gonna be this guy. And when you switch to a different guy, all the stuff still maps.
Oh, neat.
And even your special moves.
That's good planning.
So you can be...
Chandler Man?
You can be this guy.
Grar.
Ah!
Spin!
Boosh.
Grar.
That's his running attack. Run!
Just fucking bails on the pavement. Oh, video game moves. I'm having this weird memory of Tekken 3, Dr. Boskanovich, who is a weird secret character.
I would be a scientist.
He's just like this super old guy in a lab coat.
I can fight.
And he just like falls flat on his face, and his moves are all just him basically like flailing from the ground.
But he's pretty good.
He's actually like pretty strong, just because his moves are really unpredictable, and he spends all his time like flat on his back or chest and like rolling around and doing weird, huge things.
This guy rolls.
It's basically drunken boxing.
Oh no, he falls down too. Wait. What's his? He's got like a roll move that is fun. There you go. Ha!
Nice.
Oh, there you go. Cannonball!
Nice. Yeah, Dr. B is the guy who built Jack, yeah. Which is also a really weird character.
This is your boss in his cool outfit, and in different outfits for Kanoko.
Leather jacket.
This guy who's guy with a bomb vest.
Whoa!
The final boss of the game.
What? Oh, it's your brother.
It's your brother, but he's gone like Super Saiyan killer.
Okay. He's like, I have Spikemans.
Ah. Wait, can I still?
Liefeld pouches? Yeah, all those like little packs that don't really serve any kind of function.
I mean, on that guy, those are explosives. He's actually got his detonation
and
vest.
Boba Fett and Jango Fett. And Jango Fett's brother. And a training drone.
Training robot. I believe that's all it can... Oh, it can kick.
My
He doesn't have
sensors
any-
register that you hit like a girl.
The female strikers. These guys are actually pretty cool. They have, I like the... Was it? The...
Mule kick.
And they have...
10 shadow punch.
10
Whoa.
shadow
10 shadow punch.
Wow.
Okay.
punch. Okay.
That sounds just like, that sounds like the opposite of, like, Shadowless Kick from, like, Chinese martial arts movies.
Too much shadow is the problem.
Yeah, I think it might actually be like a folklore move. It's like a kick that's so fast it doesn't cast a shadow.
I like that.
I was like, okay, sure. See, now I'm curious about this.
Also, I like her running attack is just step on their chest.
Go. The Shadowless Kick, also known as the No Shadow Kick or Ghost Shadow Kick, is a martial arts technique in the Hung Gar repertoire. It was made famous by Chinese folk hero Wang Fei Hung, who are reputed to have used it in great effect.
It's just like...
It's just like it's super...
Step!
It's,
Step.
oh, the actual one kick is in practice. It consists of a simultaneous grapple or distraction with the hands and a low kick. It's kind of like the old like 1-2. It's like.
So the idea is, I guess you don't see it coming.
Yeah, but like in Hong Kong action movies, it usually is like some sort of like massive kick or like a bicycle kick or something. I think Jet Li used that one a lot. I mean, probably because he played Wang Fei Hung in a lot of movies.
There you go. Okay. Lay off with the...
These fucking, like, weirdo cloud things.
They're killing themselves with them,
Can
too.
we talk a minute about, like, ultimate weapons in video games and how fucking ineffectual they often are? They're just, like,
It'd
really...
be like, if you just had a gun and
yeah,
shoot
it's
him
like,
in the face.
like, yes, an actual rifle would be better. Like, a fucking Enfield would be better than this. It's like, I have mastered the ultimate nanotechnology. It's a slow-moving, glowing cloud of death gas that seeks you a little bit. It's like, okay, in what way is this superior to a Glock 17?
Oh, and I died. Okay.
Rip.
There's a great, I saw a great cartoon that was like Bowser meeting with the guy who makes the, like the bullet bills and like the cannons and stuff. And it's just like, dude, what the hell? It's like, all my children are dead because of you.
Wow.
Like, what? I made guns. And he just goes, bang, and shoots the guy. That's a gun. Dude. Making the bullets bigger and slower doesn't make it better.
Yeah, they went really ham in like Super Mario Land, didn't they? Where it was just like,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
holy shit, get your head down.
All right, let's go end the game. So this does one of the things that I'm sure you guys have talked about. One of my personal pet peeves in games is the like bullshit moral thing.
Oh, you push the red or blue button.
No. It's you kill a billion dudes and then you get to the person who you've actually been trying to kill this whole time because they've actually done terrible things.
Yes.
And it's like, oh, are you going to kill him, or are you going to be a good person?
What? Yeah, no, that is actually just like a fiction problem.
And so that guy, your boss dude, you have the chance of either killing him or letting him live, and that makes this fight at the end different.
Yeah.
You either fight Murrow like this, where he's all he's
sharded,
roided up.
Yep.
Or you fight him. He's still scary, but not all charged up, and Murrow comes and helps you.
Interesting.
Ow!
Yeah, I mean, like, the sort of mutation is another thing. It's exactly the same thing as the, like, ultimate weapon, where, like, it's like, my super...
Whoa!
Like, what the fuck?!
I am not clear on what I am right now.
That's really weird. It's like my supreme ultimate form.
I'm pretty sure.
Giant slow meat monster that's gonna punch you and maybe shoot lightning. I mean, that was the parody that we made with the series of the weapon series for crap shots.
Right. Yeah.
Because it's really funny.
Wait, can I fight him as? Ha! The one person you can't hope to defeat.
Everyone.
Wait, one person you can't hope to defeat. Random guy in a gray shirt. Oh, Jesus! I'm not hurting him at all.
All right. It looks like you don't actually have moves.
No! Run away, random guy in a gray shirt.
Yeah, I want to see like a video game or something like that where the guy like injects the super serum and he gets like super huge, and then he just like all his bones cave in. And he like falls over. It's like, I can't move. I'm dying.
This was poorly thought
This is about it. I can't breathe because my chest is too heavy.
Yeah, so that's Muro, not super.
Yeah.
And then, aha! Fight yourself!
Yeah, this is fair. Yeah.
Except he has a shield.
It reminds me of like Krauser in Resident Evil 4, when he's like, "Behold the ultimate power," and his like arm turns into a big like Giger knife. And even Leon's like, "What the fuck?" And he's just like, "Grawr!" and he like slides forward and stabs you.
I don't think I'm doing very well, actually. Turns out he's actually pretty good at fighting himself. Partially because I can't friggin' see past him. Ah! Oh, he killed himself.
You won.
But who really died?
Oh,
was it you or was it him?
I want to see him eat this. Second break?
Sure. So, I mean, that's most of the stuff to show about the game.
Okay. Well,
I'm just trying to think if there's any other interesting things to talk about with the game. But
yeah, I mean, we could take a short break and then just do like a sort of wrap up, talk about this game, context, and all that other stuff. Maybe just do some A's and Q's.
Indeed.
All right, so BRB. we had an issue with.
Hi. So yeah, so that's Oni. It's cool. If you want like the full playthrough, if you go to like the youtube.com/loadingreadylive and look at the old things on my stream playlist, I actually played through the whole game, so you can watch that and play it through and watch it with me. We were just having trouble on the button to unmute the thing didn't do it properly until I touched it.
There you go. So what is usually how we address those things?
So what? So part of the reason why I suggested this game is I do think it's that like, you know, interesting failure or you know, it's while it may not, you know, it's a game that, you know, obviously we can talk about various things that it doesn't do well or it is kind of corny or whatever. That idea behind it, and that's what I find most interesting about games often is that like idea behind it. It's like sure, yeah, you can make, you know, just really competently made game that is you know, a sequel or continues on whatever, and that's fun. But the games that do have something kind of cool and interesting happening behind the scenes, even if they don't work completely, I would like. I can imagine all sorts of cool games, you know, like a new you know, Tomb Raider game or something, or a new or any kind of game that would involve a lot of sort of combat-y type stuff, using, if you know, not necessarily this system, but sort of building on a system like this for combat, I think could be really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, like, in some ways, the impression I get out of this is that it's almost like a sort of patchwork of a lot of different things, like both sort of stylistically and like kind of thematically and, you know, even like gameplay wise. They just like, which I suppose, you know, you could say about any game, but like, I think it's especially apparent in a game like this that is like so clearly inspired from from its time, which is a sort of like, I suppose like, I lived through this, so that I didn't nail down to the exact dates, you know, like when, you know, anime started being like really a thing, you know, when it kind of emerged as like an industry I mean, I suppose it was around the 90s, because like the 80s was kind of the tape swapping era, right, where it was like this arcane, weird, rare shit that people would import like physically from Japan, and it was like, holy fuck, it's like Gainax and like Macross and shit, and like, you know, all this other stuff. And it was so nuts.
And it was like, anime was, it's like, it didn't really matter what it was, as long as it was anime.
Because it was so different.
Yeah.
And then sort of like through the like 90s and 2000s. Or
you
like
have the realization that it's like, oh yeah, there's super shitty anime.
Well, it's like, I think the company's sort of grokked. It's like, oh, people like anime. Give me 10 animes. I wish to sell them. And it's like,
I would like your second best animes.
And it had a profound effect on sci-fi and fiction and all that other stuff. Where's Beej and Ian? They're in Seattle.
They're gone
with everybody else. Thank you for reminding us that we're alone here.
They're never coming back.
It'll be fine, Paul.
I have very poor object persistence. Whenever I can't see things, I assume they will never come back.
Paul, actual Doge Saunders. But yeah, I think this game was interesting to me, like, as a lot of stuff of this era kind of is. You know, maybe it's especially good now with my special eyes, observing how, you know, the stuff that people like the most being harvested and refined into, you know, something like this, and just like what elements are chosen is sort of like really interestingly telling of what people get out of all the stuff that they watched.
It certainly had this sort of a pastiche of things, and I like that, you know, and it's, I like that it does have this sort of ambition to it.
Yeah.
That it probably, that, you know, definitely sort of fell short in various ways, but it did have that ambition, and, you know, and how it fell short, you know, like I was saying, you could even just see it in the sense that it didn't do all the levels that they wanted to do aren't in it, and like the level design is kind of boring in a lot of cases, or some of the stuff is kind of like, oh, it's another thing with the laser beams. Oh, that's cool.
Well, I mean, it's like people got super fired up when they got into this sort of like brand new, wild, crazy content coming out of Japan. You know, they really, you know, tried to ape on it as hard as they could, and, you know, there were some successes and a lot of not so successes. And they're going to be really weird cultural artifacts. Because, like, now I'm thinking about all this weird, like, iterative stuff that came out of the 90s, you know, like Gold Digger and, like, Ninja High School and shit like that, like Dirty Pair. And so, like, those are probably great things to research at this point. Just be like, you know, it's like, what parts of anime did... Like, it's almost like when somebody sort of, like, copies something... like the way they copy it, like it really belays their, like, what their understanding or interest is in it. You took the schoolgirls and the titties and the guns and the mechs and the weird hair. Anything else? No, just that's okay. It's fine. But yeah, it's I'm auto-hosting us for some reason.
I love it when we like go offline and it's like, hey, all these people have started auto-hosting you.
It's weird.
But
host is a little slow on the draw.
But yeah, and you know, as lots of people have said, it would be super neat to see a, you know, you know, we talked actually a little bit about like the role like remake thing, and while it's true that, you know, there's remakes are kind of like, they're, you know, something like this where it is like ambitious and interesting, and you can see the thing there that they were trying to do, but it didn't quite get there. It's almost like another kick at the can as opposed to like a full remake. Yeah. It's like maybe we could, you know, maybe something, not even necessarily by Bungie, but like that something with a sort of a similar feel to it.
Yeah.
And maybe there has been a game with a similar feel to it. I just haven't seen it. But
yeah, I'm wondering, like, you know, in present time, how much like cross-pollination there still is. It's like, now that I think about it, I don't. Like, there's definitely been sort of thematic borrowing back and forth between our two cultures, but stuff like this is not all that common anymore. At least that I can't think of off the top of my head. You know, because like,
I mean, I think things sort of, you know, as with any pop culture stuff, there's sort of waves, right? So, you know, there's the. You know, there's a lot of these sort of, I mean, it's almost sort of dying now, but the sort of, you know, Dark Souls-esque stuff has, you know, really came up for a while. And I feel like that's maybe, I feel like it's maybe cooling off a little bit there now.
And I mean, there again is just sort of like what people copied from it is kind of telling of what their understanding is. Like, we got this Dark Souls shit on lock. It's like you got fantasy, no fucking lights, and it's super hard, and you'll break your controller in half. It's like, yeah, that's part of it, but there's more to it. Okay, whatever. Yeah. Well.
Anyway, we should
subs.
We can welcome some subs.
Let's welcome subs. Wait, don't you have like a thing for this? Or?
Yeah, we can do the thingy thing.
What thingy thing?
Hey.
The nice part about Paul being here, because he knows how any of this stuff works.
Doop. This would be the first person to talk about.
Yeah, maybe Steven Universe is kind of like the ultimate hybrid, sort of not end game, but like current point of that, because it's like it's sort of inspired, but it's also very definitely its own thing.
For the anime versus,
yeah, kind of.
I guess I never really saw Steven Universe as being kind of anime inspired, but maybe I guess it
kind of is, but
right,
it's also not.
And it's also the kind of anime that it's inspired by is not the immediate like shonen style anime, right? It's a different kind of anime, the more sort of fun kind, not the like.
Yeah, but like it is kind of a magical girls show, but it's definitely doing its own thing. So neat.
Anyway, let's talk about some of the people who subscribed. The Architect X. Wait, oh, that was fast. The Architect X. Itazu, 48 months, 4 years.
Atarka SV, 42 for 7 months. What age is it appropriate to all my doggies adopted?
Never. Lurker Spine for 29 months. Infinitely more Pauls.
Well, like one more Paul. But apparently on for 11 months. 11 months, almost a full year.
Fisher for 13 months. Welcome.
Silver Thunder for 4 months. Talking Sim. I'm in.
Omnivore is a new subscriber. Welcome.
Alex Air for 8 months. Always excited to see guests on Talking Simulator.
The Seldom Seen Kid is a new subscriber. We haven't seen you before, so clearly you are.
Edmund Juniper for 7 months. Welcome back.
Hiro Niji for 9 months. Welcome. Thank you.
Mr. Pudding Maker for 23 months. Hi.
Hello. Cry121 for 6 months. Hey, 6 months. Also loved this game in the time when the Matrix was cool. Matrix is still cool.
And still relevant. Kiariel for 12 months. Good hulking sim is a great way to ring in the first year.
Yeah, welcome, 1 year. Robo Nixon for 16 months. Love the DB doc, and now one of my favorite games. You guys are the best. We are.
Short for Phil for 19 months. Welcome back.
Omnivore is a PC. Oh, that probably makes more sense. Backwood Shutters. Thank you. Hello.
Multiverse 16 is a new sub. Welcome to the channel.
Midget for 11 months.
Everest Magnus is a new sub. Welcome to the channel.
Thermos _ for 21 months. Man, I loved Oni back in the day. I know, right?
The Panda Man 2000 for 7 months. 7 months? Wow.
Do the what now for 22 months? 22 years? No.
Close.
You can't just...
Zarashi 11 for 9 months. Stormcat 69. Nice. Also sub Abby.
Sandwich Kid for 10 months. Oni.
The Lord of Elba for 4 months. Welcome back.
Xantos 69 for 5 months. Guys, I just want to say how much I love your work. Keep on doing great stuff. We will.
Low Gedrit for 2 months. Clearly, rule of cool makes best game, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's more of like a guideline.
Seshio 1 for 44 months. All glory to the Moonbase Skeleton Crew. Skeletons! Ah!
And thanks for the 9,839 bits from Earthanon, Flibblethip Lost But Seeking, the Romanoid, Senior Rod, Robo Nixon, Sandwich Kid, Delta V, and MTVCDM.
I like that we have so much trouble with people's usernames, and it's like, oh yeah, Fibblethip the Lost But Seeking.
Well, sometimes it makes sense. Alright, well, so we don't have anything planned tomorrow.
No. Oh, in particular, we should say, Thermonoid. Thank you for...
Wow, that's a lot of bits.
All those bits.
Big old bits. But, yeah, so nothing tomorrow.
Nothing tomorrow.
And Vias just subscribed. Welcome to the channel.
Let me just make this go away.
Nothing tomorrow. Saturday, was it Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday.
Saturday, we are going to do a concurrent or
yes.
Simultaneous?
Yes.
Q&A to complement the one that's happening at PAX.
Yeah, well, there's, I mean, the one at PAX starts at 3:30 and ends at 4:30, and so I figured we start ours at 3 and end it at 5. So we'll go a little longer. Mm-hmm. Because unfortunately the Q&A that's happening at PAX is not being streamed. But you know what? We got your back. So if you have...
like a 10th of a Q&A?
So if you have Qs that you would have asked if you were at PAX, but you can't because you're not at PAX, you can ask us. If they're like specific ones for people who are at PAX, we probably won't help. Like, who's your favorite wrestler, Graham? I won't be able to help you with that. But other things about, you know, we could talk about loading ready run stuff. We could talk about stuff at the stream. We could talk about us, whatever.
Maybe. Actually, if you're looking for stuff to do while everybody's out, I'm going to take a rare opportunity to plug myself.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm a jerk.
Because you're going to be streaming tomorrow, right?
Because, I am going to be streaming daily from my home channel, Vox Lunch. I am...
So, twitch.tv/Vox Lunch.
So, around midday PST, I will be doing one comic page for my comic dregs per day until everybody comes back. So feel free to tune into that.
So you'll be live streaming the drawing?
Yep, the drawing process. So
nice.
Check it out. So I will see you tomorrow.
It sounds like a threat. I will be doing one page of my comic per day until my demands are met. Those demands are everybody comes back. It's a really, really lonely terrorist.
I just wish someone would come so I could beat them up. Yeah. All right. Until next time.
Until next time. Yeah. So. And then just as a reminder, so there's nothing on on Friday, and on Sunday there'll be no Rhythm Cafe because Heather and Ian are out. But we will be doing. I'll be around for some Checkpoint on Monday. Obviously, without Graham and Kathleen here, it won't be like a full Checkpoint episode, but we can talk about gaming news and stuff. And then on Tuesday, we're mostly back to ordinariness.
Sounds good.
So,
all right,
that should be fun, and we'll see all y'all later. Check out Vox Lunch tomorrow, and we'll do some Q&A on Saturday.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right.